Message: Observe Martyrs Memorial Week from 2025 July 28th to August 3rd with revolutionary enthusiasm. Let us preserve the party, PLGA, United Front, and the revolutionary movement. Let us mobilize the broad masses in class struggle and guerrilla war so as to fail the counter-revolutionary Kagar War. Call from the Central Committee of the CPI, Maoist, to the entire party ranks, PLGA forces, the various revolutionary people's organs, and the entire people. Central Committee, CPI, Maoist. Dear comrades and people, we will be observing Martyrs Week from July 28th amidst the counter-revolutionary Kagar War that is being jointly unleashed by the Brahmanic Hindutva fascist BJP Central and the state governments of other exploitive classes for the past 1.5 years. The week is being held at a time when we lost the General Secretary of our party, Comrade Basavaraj, BR, and another 3 members of the CC, 15 members of the State Committee, and others, and the severe losses continue. We continue the revolutionary tradition of holding the Martyrs' Week to rededicate ourselves to fulfill the ideals of the martyrs who laid down their lives in the struggle against imperialism, the comprador, bureaucratic, capitalist, and feudal classes, with the objective of accomplishing new democratic revolution in the country and ultimately establish socialism-communism all over the world. Nearly 357 comrades became martyrs in the past 1 year in our country, in the path of protracted people's war, established by the great leaders of Indian Revolution, the founder leaders and teachers of our party, martyrs Comrade Charu Mazumdar and Comrade Kanhai Chatterjee. 136 of them are women comrades, and 31 revolutionary people. Among the martyrs, 14 are from Bihar Jharkhand, 23 from Telangana, 281 from Dandakaranya, 9 Andhra Odisha Special Zone /AP, 8 Maharashtra Madhya Pradesh Chhattisgarh, MMC, 20 Odisha, 1 in Western Ghats, and 1 from Punjab. 4 comrades died of ill health and improper treatment, 1 in accident, 80 in fake encounters, and 269 in encirclement attacks. 4 of the martyrs are members of the CC, including the General Secretary of our party, 16 of State Committee rank, 23 District Committee, 83 AC, PPC, 138 party members, 17 PLGA members, 6 of People's Organs, and 34 people. The details of 36 people are not available. Most of the martyrs were martyred in Kagar War. Unarmed and injured comrades caught in the encirclement attack were murdered by the government armed forces. Few comrades of the international communist movement became martyrs in the past 1 year. The CC pays humble homage to all the martyrs of our country and in the international communist movement. It conveys condolences to the family members, relatives, and friends of the martyrs. On the occasion, the CC of the CPI, Maoist, calls upon the entire forces of the party and PLGA, the organs of revolutionary people and the entire people to observe Martyrs' Week from 2025 July 28th to August 3rd, in the spirit of their sacrifices, with revolutionary determination and revolutionary enthusiasm. Let us preserve the party, PLGA, United Front People's Organs, and the revolutionary movement. Let us mobilize the broad masses in class struggle and guerrilla war to fail the counter-revolutionary Kagar War being unleashed by the central and the state governments to eliminate the revolutionary movement in the country. Let us have a brief look into the exemplary life of the martyred CC and SC comrades in the past 1 year. Comrade Basavaraju, Nambala Kesavarao. He is 71. He became a martyr in the encirclement attack on 21st of May in Gundakot area of Maad Division in Dandakaranya. Comrade Basavaraju, BR, joined the Revolutionary Students' Organization in the end of 1973. He played a vital role in the formation Radical Students' Union in joint AP the next year. The then State Committee sent 7 squads to Dandakaranya as per the North Telangana Guerrilla Zone, Dandakaranya perspective. At the time, Comrade BR was the commander to the squad sent to East Godavari Visakhapatnam districts. He took the name Gangana. In 1983, he took up the responsibility of coordinator to lead 2 squads and developed into a member of the district committee. He took up the responsibility of division committee secretary in 1985. He became a member of the Dandakaranya Special Zonal Committee and member of the CC in 1987. He was re-elected into the CC in the Congress of the CPI, ML, People's War, in 2001. He was elected as a member of the Politburo and the in charge of the Central Military Commission. He made efforts for joint struggle with few organizations making armed struggle for the liberation of nationalities in Northeast India. He took part in the unity efforts of People's War and Party Unity in 1998. He had an important role in the efforts for unity of PW and MCCI in 2004 and of CPI, Maoist, and Naxalbari in 2013. He was once again elected into the CC and the PB and took up the responsibility of in charge of the CMC in the Unity Congress 9th Congress held in 2007. He continued in these responsibilities until 2017 and was since the GS of the CPI, Maoist. Comrade Basavaraj made great contributions in his 51 years of revolutionary life. He built revolutionary student youth movement in Warangal Hanamkonda Kazipet in 1970s. He was one of the makers of the revolutionary movement in DK in 1980s. He directly guided the North Telangana and Dandakaranya movements into guerrilla zones in 1990s. He had a vital role in the formation of PLGA, in developing the guerrilla war People's War to higher stage, and in the formation of organs of people's state power. He made great efforts in theoretical, political, and military spheres. He was in the forefront in defeating the left and the right trends that came forth in the party in 1985, 1991, and the left trend in the congresses held in 2001 and 2007. He had a vital role in formulating the documents on China's social imperialism in 2017 and changes in the relations of production in India, our political program, in 2021. He had an important role in the CC in drafting all the documents and policy papers from 2001 to 2025 and provided theoretical and political leadership to the Indian revolutionary movement. He played the role of a vanguard in the planning and motivating the forces in several military actions, such as ambush and raid, starting from Daragada in 1987, one of the two initial ambushes until the Mukram ambush in 2010. He was the commander in few actions. He worked as the chief editor of Awami Jung magazine, so as to mold PLGA into a people's army. He held several military camps. Since he took up the responsibility of GS, he was the chief editor of the theoretical organ of the CC People's War and ran it efficiently. Comrade Vivek Prayag Manji. Comrade Vivek is a member of the CC. He was 66. He was martyred with another 7 comrades near Mundatala Soso villages in Bokaro district of Jharkhand on 21 April 2025 in an encirclement attack. He came into touch with Comrade Kanhai Chatterjee at the age of 13 to 14. He joined the revolutionary movement in the end of 1970s. He worked under the leadership of Comrades Kanhai Chatterjee, KC, Barunda, and Kashanda, and developed from the level of party member, squad commander, leader of subzone, zone, district, and special area. He played an important role in the building of revolutionary movement in Gaya Hazaribagh, and later Bihar Jharkhand Special Area. He took up the responsibility of the Secretary of BJ Special Area in 2009. He worked as the Secretary of East Bihar Northeast Jharkhand Special Area Committee. Comrade Vivek efficiently fulfilled the responsibility of managing the Unity Congress 9th Congress in 2007. He actively worked in developing revolutionary mass organizations, Revolutionary People's Committee, RPC, and People's Struggles Class Struggle. He mobilized the people and the people's militia to fight back white militia, such as the counter-revolutionary Sendra and Nagarik Suraksha Samiti. Even though the revolutionary movement faced a difficult situation since 2012 and temporary setbacks since 2018, Comrade Vivek worked with firm determination and courage in the unfavorable conditions. He strived to preserve the party, PLGA, United Front, and the revolutionary movement. Comrade Chalapathy, Ramachandra Reddy. Comrade Chalapathy is a member of the CC. He was 62. He became a martyr in the encirclement attack in Kulhadagat Baludigi forest of Gariaban district of Chhattisgarh on 20th of January. He started to participate in revolutionary activities in Srikakulam district since 1985. He left his job in 1987 and went underground as a full-time activist. He initially worked in Srikakulam district of North Andhra and later in the East Division of Andhra-Odisha border area and Srikakulam-Koraput Division. He led the revolutionary movement starting as a member of the party, squad commander, member of the district committee, in charge of SMC, secretary of Odisha State Committee, and member of the CC and CMC. He gained the affection of oppressed people and the cadres. Comrade Chalapathy played an important role in building people's movement's class struggle and in building and developing guerrilla war. He provided leadership to the struggles for occupation of forest land, coffee plantations, and against bauxite mining in East Godavari, Visakhapatnam area. He was the commander of several successful ambushes and raids. Comrade Chalapathy had been suffering from severe knee pain, back pain, and BP for a long time. In spite of the situation where he cannot walk for long, he dedicatedly fulfilled his responsibilities until his last breath to accomplish new democratic revolution in the country. Comrade Uday Gajarla Ravender. Comrade Uday is a member of the CC. He was 56. He became a martyr in an encirclement attack in the Maredumili forest area of Alluri Sitaramaraju of Andhra Pradesh on 18th of June. He came in touch with the revolutionary movement through his activity in Radical Students' Union in 1982. He became a professional revolutionary in 1984 and worked in Matavada area of Warangal district of Telangana. He was transferred to the Aturu Nagaram squad in the North Telangana Forest Division, NTFD, in 1991 December. He was promoted as a member of the area committee in mid-1992. He became the deputy commander of Manuguru squad in 1993. He took up the responsibility as a member of the NTFD in 1994 and the secretary of the division in Khammam Division Conference in 2000. He was elected as a member of the North Telangana Special Zonal Committee in the conference in the end of 2000. He represented NTSZC in the talks with the AP government in 2004. He was a delegate in the 2007 Unity Congress, 9th Congress. He was transferred to AOB in 2008. He took up the responsibility as the secretary of AOB SZC in 2016 and continued in the responsibility until his martyrdom. He was co-opted into the Central Committee in 2017. He strived for the development of the movement in North Telangana and AOB for the past 43 years. He gained enormous experience in making class struggle and guerrilla war. Comrade Sharma Jagjit Singh Sohal, veteran leader of Indian Revolutionary Movement. Comrade Jagjit Singh Sohal, Comrade Sharma, breathed his last at the age of 96 on 20th October 2024 out of ill health. He provided enormous services to the Indian Communist movement for nearly 7 decades. Comrade Jagjit Singh was elected member of the CC from Punjab in the 8th Congress in 1970. The party was splintered due to the right and left trends that arose in the party after the martyrdom of Comrade Charu Mazumdar in 1972. In this situation, Central Organizing Committee was formed in 1974 January in the leadership of Comrade Sharma to lead the party in the correct revolutionary path. However, the committee became inactive since 1977 May, due to the differences in formulating correct tactics in Indian Revolution. He participated in the activities of our party in the state of Punjab until his martyrdom. He later worked as the secretary of the state committee for some time. He continued to work in the revolutionary movement as a member of the state committee until his martyrdom. Comrade Gautam Thentu Lakshmi Narasimhachalam. Comrade Gautam is a member of state committee rank. He was the in charge of the Central Regional Political School, REPOS. He was 66. He became a martyr on 5th of June in the encirclement attack in National Park area from 3 to 8th of June. He joined RSU when he was a student in the Ayurveda Medical College in Vijayawada in 1980. He became a full-time activist in the revolutionary movement in 1981. He initially worked in building the revolutionary movement in Krishna and Guntur districts. He later worked to build movement in South Coastal area. He worked for a while in Nalamala Forest area. He developed into a member of the State Committee in 1997. Party transferred him to AOB Special Zone on its formation in 2001. He was a member of the Secretariat and later the Secretary of the Committee. He played an important role in the development of the movement in AOB. In view of the needs of the movement, Party transferred him to the Central Regional Education Department. He held political classes to several SCCMs. DVC, Psi PCMs in Telangana, AOB, and DK for the past 16 years that helped for their development. Comrade Madhu, Saja Venkata Nageswara Rao. Comrade Madhu is a member of State Committee rank and a member of staff of the CC and CMC. He is the editor of Awami Jung magazine. He was 60. He became a martyr together with the GS of the party comrade BR in the encirclement attack in Gundakot Forest of Mad Division on 21st May. His participation in revolutionary activities started in 1981. He became a professional revolutionary in 1983-1984. Since then, he worked to build the movement in Guntur and Prakasam districts until 1987. He worked in various squads of the districts. He took up the responsibility of staff member of Awami Jung in 1998 and later became a member of the editorial board. He efficiently and reliably worked as the editor of Awami Jung and a staff member of the CC and CMC from 1998 to 2025. Comrade Basavaraju and Comrade Madhu together efficiently did several works related to the CC and CMC for 27 years. He tirelessly worked on computer for hours together. Apart from military aspects, he widely studied economic, political, and technical aspects. His wide study and tireless work style very much helped to fulfill his responsibilities. His team worked together with the CC and CMC members in bringing out timely circulars and messages is exemplary to all of us. Comrade Rupesh, Siam Rao Madhavi. Comrade Rupesh is a member of the Dandakaranya Special Zonal Committee. He was 38. He became a martyr in an encirclement attack in Kakur Forest of Mad area on 26 September. He was the first SZCM to become a martyr in Kagar in Dandakaranya. Comrade Rupesh joined PLGA in 2002 at the age of 16. Initially, he worked in a hairy area of Gadchiroli district for 3 years. Later, he worked as the commander of guard team of a CCM from 2007 March to 2008 March. He was transferred to Company 4 in 2008 March, where he was promoted as a member of CIPC in 2009. He became the commander of the newly formed Company 10 in 2010. He continued in this responsibility until 2020 and also became the secretary of CIPC in 2014. He was elected into the SZEC in DK plenum in 2020 September. Comrade Rupesh took part in many and led some guerrilla war actions in Gadchiroli district. In spite of the severe unfavorable conditions in the revolutionary movement, he took up constant political, organizational, and military efforts to overcome it. Comrade Nithi Patem Kope. Comrade Nithi is a member of the DKSCC. He was 46. She became a martyr in the encirclement attack in Gavadi Toltuli on the border of Narayanpur Dantewada districts on 4 October 2024. She joined the guerrilla squad as a full-time member in 1996. Earlier, she worked in Krantikari Adivasi Mahila Sangathan, KAMS, in her village. After joining the squad, she worked in West Bastar for some time and was later transferred to Kondagaon squad. She developed into a member of the AC and later into the DVC. She took up the responsibility of East Bastar Divisional Committee in the end of 2017. She was elected an alternate member to the SDC in the plenum in 2020 September. She was co-opted as a full-time SDCM in 2024 September. She worked in or else is familiar with almost all the areas in East and North Bastar. She has an inseparable role in the development of the revolutionary movement of the two divisions. She took part in all the people's struggles in these divisions. She provided leadership in the respective levels to these struggles. Comrade Karthik Pridvi Mohan Rao. Comrade Karthik is a member of the Odisha State Committee. He was 65. The government armed forces caught and murdered him and his assistant, guard, Comrade Ramila, in an encirclement attack in Kumam Forest in Indravathi area of Mad Division on 10 to 13 December 2024. Comrade Karthik joined the party as a full-time activist in 1981 to 82. He worked actively in the party in coastal Andhra Pradesh. He got married in 1986. Both the comrades were taken into the secret mechanism of the CC. Comrade Karthik has an important role in developing the Dandakaranya press. He brought computer and baby offset machine to DK in 1996. He was later transferred to North Bastar Divisional Committee and took the name Dasru. He was promoted into DKSSC in 2000. He guided the movement in Darba Division from 2004 to 2006. He also took up responsibility as a member of the Secretariat and Zonal Mobile Political School, MOPOS, and Subcommittee of Mass Organizations, SUCOMO. He held several political, military, and organizational responsibilities that the party handed over to him and strived for the development of the movement in DK. Comrade Dasru was transferred to Damtari Garya Band and played an important role in expanding the movement to Odisha from 2007 July-August. The movement started with a platoon, and the formation of divisional committee followed. The party handed him the responsibility of secretary of the committee that he held until 2015. He organized the people in Sithanadi Udanthi Sonabeda areas. He led people's struggles such as for hike in rates of forest products, tendu leaves, and against the 3 national parks in Sonabeda, Udanthi, and Sithanadi. He led struggles of the tribal people for right to forest lands. Thus, he developed into a people's leader. He firmly fought against state repression, opposed surrender, held high the sacrifices of the martyrs, and determinedly provided leadership to the movement. In 2010, 2 company forces went to Odisha from DK with the task of expansion. The movement gradually strengthened into 3 divisions. The Chhattisgarh-Odisha Border, Kobe State Committee was formed in 2011 December. Odisha SOC and COB merged in 2013. State Conference of Odisha was held in 2015. Later, Comrade Karthik took up the responsibility of West Subzonal Bureau as a member of the SC. He also took up the responsibility of the spokesperson of the SC in the name of an anti-British rebel Chakra Bisoy. Comrade Karthik was a good fighter in developing guerrilla war and daringly led. He was part of the Richgam ambush. He led the Sunbayal and Silpigat ambush. He firmly fought back together with his comrades in several encounters. Comrade Karthik continued in the Odisha State Committee until 2023 October. He was aging and was suffering from Alzheimer's disease. He could not actively fulfill political and organizational works after 2023 October. Comrade Chaite, Gumadaveli Renuka. Comrade Chaite is a member of the DKSZEC. She was 55. She was caught alive, tortured, and murdered by the police forces when she was unarmed in Belnar village of Indravathi area of Mayad Division on 31st March 2025. Comrade Chaite came into touch with the revolutionary movement when she was studying LLB in Tirupati in AP in 1992. She became a full-time party activist in 1996. She initially worked in building the women's movement in Tirupati town. In the process, she played an important responsibility in regularly publishing the magazine Mahila Margam as a member of the editorial board. She later practiced law in Visakhapatnam and actively worked in women's organization. She was a member of the Visakhapatnam City Committee since 2001 and fulfilled the responsibilities of the women's movement. She became part of the AOB movement in 2003, where she worked in East Srikakulam and Basadara divisions. Party transferred her to the editorial board of Kranti magazine in 2006. She then went to DK and continued in this responsibility until 2012. She became part of the editorial board of Prabhat, the official organ of DKSZC since 2014. She strived to gain command on Hindi language. Later, she took the main responsibility as its editor. She wrote and published pamphlets and books exposing the counter-revolutionary military operations of the central and the state governments to eliminate the DK movement starting from Salvajudam to Kagar War. She wrote a book on the Narayana-Patna land struggle. She wrote many stories in the pen name Midko. She was elected into the SDC in the plenum held in 2020 September. She also took up responsibilities as a member of the Mahila subcommittee. Comrade Gudu, Nupo Sanu. Comrade Gudu is a member of the Odisha State Committee. He was 43. He became a martyr in the encirclement attack in Kulhadigat Baludigi Forest of Garyaban district on 19 to 22 January 2025. He became a full-time activist in the revolutionary movement in 2000. He initially worked in Jaguragonda area of South Bastar Division. He later worked in area and divisional teams of Chetana Natya Manch. He was promoted as a member of the DVC rank. He went along with the forces from DK to Odisha in 2010 for expansion of the movement and worked in Nuapada area. He was co-opted into the SCC in 2017. He made severe efforts for the development of the revolutionary movement in Manipur Nuapata, Damtari Garyaban Nuapata from 2010 to 2025. Comrade Sathyam Gavdi. Comrade Sathyam is a member of the Odisha State Committee. He was 42. He became a martyr in the Kulhadighat Baludigi encirclement attack in 2025 January. He joined the revolutionary movement in 2001 as a full-time activist and initially worked in Partapur and Raughat areas of North Bastar Division. When the party took up the task of expanding the revolutionary movement to Manipur Sonabeda area in 2007, he was one of the first batch of comrades to fulfill the task as a member of the area committee. He was arrested in 2007 summer and jailed for 3 years. Immediately after he was released, he returned to Manipur Sonabeda area and strived to build revolutionary movement. He mobilized the people in the struggles against national parks. He organized the people in local organs. He gained the affection of the people of the area and developed into their leader. In the process, he developed into a member of the DVC. He was elected into the state committee in the Odisha State Plenum in 2021 August. Since then, he worked as the in-charge of West Subzonal Command and a member of the Odisha State Military Commission. Comrade Alok Bavuri Bandhu Sethi. Comrade Alok is a member of the Odisha State Committee. He was 38. He became a martyr in the Kulhadighat Baludigi encirclement attack in 2025 January. Comrade Alok was one of the revolutionaries who came forth as a part of the efforts of building revolutionary movement in Odisha that martyr Comrade Barunda initiated in 2000. He became a full-time activist in the revolutionary movement in 2005. He worked in Bargar Bolingar area for some time and later in Basadar Gumsara Nagavali division. He developed into a member of the area committee, commander of the squad and DVCM, and worked for the development of the movement in the division. He opposed the disruptive group deeds of Savyasachi Panda, who was the secretary of the Odisha SC and stood firm in the revolutionary movement. He was elected as the alternate SCM in the state plenum in 2021 August. He strived to run the party magazine in Odia language. Comrade Papana, Kursam Mangu. Comrade Papana is a member of the Telangana State Committee. He was 41. He became a martyr on the 1st December 2024 in Aturu Nagaram forest area of Mulugu district of Telangana. The Telangana SIB and Greyhound forces poisoned through police informers and murdered our squad in an evil plan. Comrade Papana joined PLGA in 2001. He worked in West Bastar Division for some time and was later transferred to Telangana. He first worked in the protection squad of the SC. He was the commander of the platoon for a while. He later became part of the movement in Warangal. He worked for the development of revolutionary movement in Telangana, and in the process developed into a member of the AC and then DVC. He became a member of the SC in 2023. Comrade Madhu, Egolapu Malaya. Comrade Madhu is a member of the Telangana State Committee. He was 47. He became a martyr in an attack through poison on 1st of December 2024. He joined the revolutionary movement as a full-time activist in 1995. He initially worked in the squads in Karimnagar district. He was a member of platoon in North Telangana. He became part of the movement in DK since 2000. He initially worked in platoon in Mad division. He was later transferred to Raughat area. As a part of expanding the movement, party sent him Manipur area. He made distinct effort in building the movement into a division level together with his committee members. He worked in Company 1 for some time and was later transferred to Indravathi area in Mad division. He determinedly worked to make success the campaigns for consolidation and recruitment in the area. Party transferred him to Telangana in the end of 2022. He was taken into the SC in 2024 November. Comrade Bhaskar, Mailarapu Adelu. Comrade Bhaskar is a member of the Telangana State Committee. He was 55. He became martyr on June 6th in the encirclement attack in National Park area from 3 to 8th of June. He joined the revolutionary movement as a full-time activist in 1990. He had been working in Adilabad district for the past 3.5 decades. He had a role in each and every turn in the movement in the district. He developed along with the movement in the district as a member of the squad, as the secretary of AC, member of DVC, and the secretary. He played an important role as a DVCM and SCM in building several people's movements in the district. He took part in several guerrilla war actions in the district. Comrade Jagan, Kakuri Pandana. Comrade Jagan is a member of the Andhra Odisha Border Special Zonal Committee. He was 57. He became a martyr in an enemy attack in Dumukonda forest of Uramavaram block of Alluri Sitaramaraju district on 7th May. He became a full-time activist in the revolutionary movement in 1986. He initially worked in East Division. In 1987, Dandakaranya Forest Committee was formed that formed a squad for coordination. Comrade Jagan became a member of the squad in 1990. After some time, party transferred him to AOB, where he developed into ACM, DVCM, and SZCM. Comrade Aruna, Ravi Venkata Chaitanya. Comrade Aruna is a member of AOB SZC. She was 45. She became a martyr in an enemy attack on 18th of June in Alluri Sitaramaraju district of AP. She joined the revolutionary movement as a full-time activist in 1999. She initially worked in squads. She was later transferred to the Education Department of AOB Zone from 2003 to 2006. She later worked in the East Division and developed into Squad Commander and DVCM. She later worked in Srikakulam Koraput Division and was part of the team that provided leadership to the Narayanapatna land struggle. Party once again transferred her to East Division. In the process, she was promoted as a member of the SZC in 2013. Comrade Aruna was part of the Koraput raid and several other such raids and ambushes, including that on the convoy of MLA and ex-MLA of AP in 2018. Comrade Jaya is a member of the Bihar-Jharkhand Special Area Committee. She was 50. She joined the revolutionary movement as a full-time activist in early 1990s. She initially worked in Giridih district and later in several districts of the Bihar-Jharkhand Special Area. She especially worked to build and develop women's movement. The CC formed the Central Women's Subcommittee to coordinate countrywide women's movement immediately after the formation of CPI, Maoist. Comrade Jaya was part of it on behalf of BJ Special Area. She was arrested and jailed when she went to Dhanbad for treatment of cancer in 2024 July. The state deprived her of proper treatment and murdered her. Comrade Jaya became a martyr in 2024 October. The martyred CCMs and SCMs worked for building and advancing the revolutionary movement for 2.5 to 5 decades. Each of the martyrs did varied works. They specialized in those spheres. We need to take many aspects of their practice as ideals. Let us briefly see certain common aspects. 1. The martyrs firmly believed in and practiced the theory of Marxism-Leninism-Maoism, MLM, and our fundamental line. They made theoretical, political, organizational, and military effort to solve the problems that arose in practice. They enriched our line and policies through constant process of practice-study application. 2. They defeated the right and left trends that arose in the party in the respective times. 3. They courageously resisted, fought back, and failed the several strategic offensive plans that the central and the state governments have been unleashing since 1985. 4. They stood firm in the ups and downs, twists and turns, and advancement and retreat in the revolutionary movement. They were not over-enthusiastic in ups, turns, and advancement, and were not depressed with downs, twists, and retreats. They made theoretical, political, organizational, and military effort to overcome the difficult situation and the temporary setback in the revolutionary movement. 5. They relentlessly worked to strengthen the party, People's Army, and United Front. 6. They did not leave the area of struggle and the arena of war. They stuck to the people, party ranks, and PLGA forces and stood firm. 7. They practiced ordinary lifestyle, communist ideals also in life. In the past 1 year, leader of revolutionary movement Comrade GN Sai Baba, few leaders of mass organizations and sympathizers of revolution were martyred. This is the first time since Naxal Bari that 4 CCMs and 16 SCMs were martyred in a period of 1 year. These losses would negatively affect the revolutionary movement for a relatively long time. Since the Kagar War began, and especially after the Kalpar attack, on an average there is an attack once in 15 to 20 days by the central and the state armed forces. 10 to 35 comrades of the party, PLGA, the local organs, and the people are being killed in these attacks. The martyred comrades are of 16 to 17 years to 96 years. The martyred comrades range from ordinary members to the leaders of the highest level. It is a negative thing that there are severe losses in these attacks, but our leaders, commanders, and forces of the party and the PLGA are retaliating the enemy forces with extraordinary dare and courage. In almost each of the attacks, 10 to 20 policemen die and 320 are injured. In all the incidents, our forces are putting up heroic resistance for 1 to 2 days and are breaking the encirclement. Although thousands of armed forces encircle in a range of 20 kilometers and take up cordon search kill operations, few comrades are able to escape. All through the period, there is self-defensive war in the enemy encirclement, the resistance and breaking of our forces. Several experiences and ideals such as team spirit, commanding, giving a blow to the enemy with extraordinary dare and courage and new methods and maneuvering, techniques in breaking the encirclement, tolerating hunger for hours and days and long journeys came forth in the process. We must synthesize and develop these experiences and ideals and mold them as a general practice of our party and PLGA units. In this process, we must make efforts to enhance the self-confidence of our forces, to lessen losses, and to affect the self-confidence of the enemy. The forces of the party and PLGA are sacrificing their valuable lives and establishing great ideals in the resistance to Kagar war. Our forces are not surrendering, but resisting the enemy armed forces when they are encircled. They are firm in the path of sacrifice. This great ideal is worrying the central and the state governments and the enemy armed forces. That is the reason the enemy is not declaring the losses on their side, or else declaring only partial losses on their side. The enemy is deploying 30 to 100 armed forces for each party activist and people's guerrilla. This reflects the weak morale of the enemy armed forces. The high morale of our forces is the theory of MLM, firm confidence in our fundamental path, and the consciousness to give away lives for the people. This is our strategic strength. This strength shall be the base to overcome the temporary setback. Although the central and the state governments deploy lakhs of armed forces in the areas of the movement, provide those modern arms and modern technology, they are unable to dare to attack us with equal strength. It is because these are mercenary forces. This is the strategic weakness of the enemy forces. This weakness will ultimately lead to the defeat of the enemy. Let us fail the counter-revolutionary Kagar war. Let us preserve the party, PLGA, United Front, and the revolutionary movement. The reason for the loss of the forces of the party, PLGA, and organs of the people is improper implementation of secret method of functioning, rules of guerrilla war, and the tactics formulated by the CC. Guerrilla war is flexible. It goes as per the tactics like breeze and flowing water. The meaning of being like breeze is to be in constant mobility instead of staying in one place. The meaning of flowing like water is to not climb the hills that come in its way, not to fight decisive wars with the enemy that is many times stronger like water flowing from slopes, but to implement tactics to save its strength. Therefore, our forces must work as per the tactics of flexible guerrilla war. The circulars released by our CC and PB in 2024, February and August, mentioned that in the present situation, we must work in wide areas, not confining to small areas. We must be decentralized. Class struggle must be made in coordination of legal, illegal, open secret forms of struggle and organization. We must mobilize the people of 4 classes of the urban, plain, and forest areas in the revolutionary movement. The CC formulated many such political and military tactics. We are facing severe losses since we did not properly practice these tactics. Let us review these losses and make class struggle and guerrilla war with the correct political and military tactics formulated by the CC. Let us thus lessen losses. Let us fail the ill plan of the central and the state governments to eliminate the party, PLGA, United Front, and the revolutionary movement before 2026, March 31st, by practicing the tactics formulated by the CCPB and preserving the party, PLGA, United Front, and the revolutionary movement. Although the losses of the forces of our party, PLGA, and people's organs continue in the intense Kagar war in the past 1 year, class struggle is going on at varied levels all over the areas of the movement and the guerrilla war in places where guerrilla units exist. The guerrilla units are arranging booby traps, IEDs, either in a limited manner and in relatively large scale in few places, and are giving a blow to the enemy armed forces. In some places, they are making ambushes on the enemy armed forces through small and decentralized actions. In the past 1 year, PLGA forces eliminated 75 enemy armed forces and injured 130 and seized few weapons in the booby trap IED warfare, and through breaking the enemy encirclement. In areas where the 2024 August PB circular is available, there is study, discussions, and classes on it. The tactics in the PB circular is applied to the respective conditions of the area, district, and state, and work is going on. Depending on the balance of forces of the movement, there is propaganda, agitation on the daily life and fundamental problems of the people, legal, illegal, open secret forms of struggle and organization are utilized and class struggle is going on. The civil society from 9-10 states is pressurizing the central and the state governments to stop Kagar War and Karaguda operation and to hold peace talks. There are propaganda and agitation activities. It took the form of a movement in the two Telugu states. This is a positive development in the recent time. The above-mentioned political, organizational, and military effort very much helps to preserve the revolutionary movement and to fail the Kagar War. In fact, as long as there are classes on the earth and in the country, either the Brahmanic Hindutva fascist BJP central government, the Kagar War, any exploitive government, or any other counter-revolutionary war, cannot eliminate the revolutionary theory and the revolutionary movement. This is the undoubted historic truth. As long as there are classes, the exploitive classes unleash extreme exploitation and oppression on the people. The oppressed classes, oppressed social sections, and oppressed nationalities facing the exploitation continue to struggle unarmed, armed, open and secret, and legal and illegal. Revolutionary parties take birth and strengthen from among these struggles. That is why we say that the central and the state governments cannot eliminate the Indian revolutionary movement by 31st March 2026. As per the theory of Maoist People's War and the path of protracted People's War, the Revolutionary Party and People's Army that fights on behalf of the oppressed people takes birth from class struggles. The intensity of class struggles leads to People's War. In the process, the Revolutionary Party and People's Armies that are a small force develop into a big force, the weak ones turn into a strong force. The defeated ones win. The struggle People's War in isolated areas spreads to broad areas, from small to big areas. Although it shrinks, it spreads once again. It encircles the cities from the rural areas. Revolution gains success through success, defeat, and ultimately success. When we say that we need to understand the theory of Maoist People's War and the path of protracted People's War in the stage of temporary setback, it means to understand the dialectics of it. It means that we should not lose confidence in the temporary setback and losses. The meaning of understanding the dialectics of it is that if we properly practice the tactics of Maoist People's War, the revolutionary movement advances from the situation of temporary setback. To believe that losses will lessen and the subjective forces, Party, PLGA, and United Front will once again strengthen, and to make class struggle and People's War with proper political and military tactics. We must propagate this aspect in the forces of our party and PLGA, in the organs of the people and the entire revolutionary camp, and instill confidence in our forces and the revolutionary camp. We must thus avoid surrender and betrayal. Let us utilize the objective situation developing favorable for revolution at the international and domestic to preserve the revolutionary movement and to fail the Kagar War. So let us briefly see the international and domestic situation. The world did not overcome the financial crisis of 2008. The economic, political, military, and technical policies taken up by the capitalist, imperialist countries and the backward countries utterly failed. So these are taking shelter in fascism and wars. Presently, the U.S. became the biggest indebted country of the world at a loan of $38 trillion. Its economic growth slowed down. In this situation, Trump came to power for the second time and is following policies to overcome financial crisis of the country and to sustain its lost status of superpower. All these policies are repulsing. The tariffs imposed on the countries of the world is going to push the world economy into further crisis. Both the US and China mutually agreed to temporarily decrease tariffs, but it is merely temporary. Tariff war might come up between these two countries once again. Trump demonstrates colonial hegemonic trend and made open statements that he would occupy Canada, Greenland, Panama, and Gaza. This apart, he is intensely continuing the war of aggression not only on Gaza but on entire Palestine. The U.S. too attacked 3 nuclear sites in Iran on 22nd June and intensified war in West Asia. The war of aggression of the U.S. together with Israel on Iran and Palestine is going to turn into a regional war. As per the inference of Lenin that imperialism means war, there were 2 world wars, several regional wars, and hundreds of local wars since imperialism came into existence. The Russia-Ukraine war is going on for the past 3 years. The Israel-Palestine war is going on for the past 1.5 years. Tensions are brewing between U.S. and China on the issue of Taiwan. U.S. imperialism and other imperialist countries are violating the rules of UN and WTO that these formulated. The capitalist imperialist countries and the regional expansionist countries in the backward countries are raising defense budgets year by year to overcome the economic crisis. Contention between the imperialist countries for natural resources, to cheaply loot labor power and for markets, is intensifying day by day. There is severe contention at present going on between the U.S. on one side and China and Russia on the other. The U.S. clearly told the Western Europe countries that it cannot allot funds to NATO like in the earlier period due to financial crisis and that those have to take care of its defense. These countries are raising defense budgets. In this situation, the multipolar world system that is going on for the past 1 decade is being pushed towards instability, turbulence, and confusion. All these are intensely affecting the economic, political, and social conditions of the world, and as a part of it, our country. The major contradictions of our country are also intensifying. The Brahmanic Hindutva fascist RSS, BJP central and state governments are intensely taking up propaganda about developing the country into a developed one by 2047. This year, these propagate that India bet Japan and become the 4th biggest economy. In fact, it will take few more months to overcome Japan. 40% of the wealth of the country is in the hands of 1% billionaires of the country. In this situation, the present $3.9 trillion, 1 trillion equals 1 lakh crore, of the gross domestic product, GDP, comprises 1% share of the rich that amounts to $1.56 trillion. The rest 99% of the population own $2.34 trillion. The per capita income is mere $1,670, is $1,041,950. This is very, very less when compared to the per capita income of the developed countries. On the other hand, 80 crore people of the country are dependent on the ration given by the government. There would not be any change in the lives of the people, even if the country becomes the 4th biggest economy or the 5th biggest, or if the ruling classes of the country state it to be a developed country basing on the raised wealth. The lives of the people of middle classes are becoming miserable with rising prices, losing jobs and lack of jobs and unemployment. The driving out of Indians in the name of illegal immigrants from the U.S., lessening opportunities of jobs due to artificial intelligence, is going to lead to social unrest among the people of the country, including the middle class. The Brahmanic Hindutva fascist RSS BJP Central and the state governments create religious division among the people, making attacks on the religious minorities, especially the Muslims in all spheres, to divert this social unrest. As a part of it, the central government brought forth the Waqf Amendment Act to take hold of the lands of the Muslim religious organizations. The central and state BJP governments are demolishing the houses and properties of the poor and Muslims with bulldozers. The BJP central government conspiratorially created the Pahalgam incident to see that the people do not find against all these, attacked Pakistan, and instigated anti-Pakistan national frenzy among the people. In this situation, we must expose the conspiracies and ill deeds of the Brahmanic Hindutva fascists and prepare the people to struggle for their daily life and fundamental problems. The economic social disparities rose in an unprecedented manner in the country, and the conspiracies and fascist, repressive actions of the Brahmanic Hindutva fascist forces cannot suppress the people for very long. The oppressed classes, oppressed social communities, and oppressed nationalities facing the suppression shall definitely resist. Let us make efforts to mold the resistance into an organized strength. It is the task of all of us today to uphold the ideals of the martyrs. We need to be prepared to sacrifice our life in the interests of the people. We must reject the surrender rehabilitation plans being announced by the enemy. We must not fall in the influence of the deceptive psychological war of the enemy. We must widely propagate the ideals of the martyrs among the people in the urban, plain, and forest areas and in the entire revolutionary camp, and mobilize the new generation into the revolutionary movement. The ideal of the martyrs is to establish socialist communist society, where a human cannot exploit a human. We call upon the workers, peasants, middle class, national capitalists, the women, Dalit, tribal and religious minority people, and the oppressed nationalities to become part of the class struggle people's war to achieve this great ideal and to end the exploitive system in India. Program in the Martyrs Memorial Week. We call upon the party ranks and the oppressed people to pay homage in memory of and upholding the sacrifices of the martyrs in the revolutionary movement, either in a secret or an open manner in the workplaces in villages, towns, cities, school, college, universities, industrial, and service sectors, wherever there are party units all over the country from July 28th to August 3rd. This message released by the CC on the occasion of Martyrs Week this year must be taken among the people of all places. We must invite the family members to the martyrs' memorial meetings and make them seated on the stage. We must introduce them to the people and ask them to speak. We must hand over the condolence message, life histories, photos, and signs of memory of the martyrs to their family members. We must share their grief and extend support in various forms. We must strongly sustain them on the side of the revolutionary movement. We must publish the life histories of the martyrs in the respective special area, special zone states, zone, division, district, and areas. We must release pamphlets, posters, brochures, and banners upholding the sacrifices, ideals, and the good habits of the martyrs. We must write, publish, and widely propagate poems, stories, and plays. We must utilize the print, electronic, and social media with necessary precautions. We must build and inaugurate columns in memory of the martyrs. The revolutionary cultural organizations must prepare songs, group dances, plays, and other such art forms on the life histories of the martyrs and perform. We must also propagate through the digital media. We must take up the program in various methods and forms in view of the concrete condition of the respective areas. Unlike in the earlier time, our forces must move and work in a special manner, as per the changing conditions and secret methods, speedily changing places in the guerrilla areas. We must hold the Martyrs Week like a political campaign of propaganda and agitation, raising the consciousness of the people, so as it helps oppose the utmost cruel, inhuman massacres on the people, oppose the atrocities on women, raises class hatred against the enemy, and to fail the Kagar War in the spirit of our beloved martyrs. Slogans. Let us take forth the ideals of the martyrs. Let us uphold high the great sacrifices of the martyrs. Let us oppose surrender and the betrayal to revolution. Let us firmly fight to preserve the interests of the oppressed people. Let us fail the counter-revolutionary Kagar. Let us creatively apply the rules of Maoist guerrilla war. Let us avoid unnecessary losses. Let us take forth guerrilla war according to the changed condition. Let us intensity widen anti-imperialist, anti-comprador bureaucratic capitalist, anti-feudal class struggle. Let us raise mass base. Let us mobilize the broad secular democratic forces to struggle and defeat Brahmanic Hindutva fascism. Let us raise voice demanding a stop to the imperialist proxy war on Ukraine and the genocidal war of Israel with the support of the U.S. on the people of Palestine. Let us unite with the forces working for the freedom and democracy of the oppressed nationalities and the people and take up struggle. Long live Marxism, Leninism, Maoism. Long live World Socialist Revolution. Long live New Democratic Revolution in India. Long live Communist Party of India, Maoist. 2025, June 23rd, Central Committee, CPI, Maoist.